Then the state asked him, if you say they, who are you referring to? She answered, Sergeant Mukhani, Butelezi Sadiki, and at line 21, and my lord, when I jumped inside the vehicle, it was then Sergeant Mabena, myself, and Muzi. Then at line 24, Miss Muhola, they came out, my lord, with an old male, and he came out and stand next to the window. Proceed to page 39, where Muzi was sitting. Then line 3 of page 39. Ms. Mohola, accused number 1, my lord, we were able to see Umkhulu through the window while the window was still closed. I then asked Muzi if this was Umkhulu that he was referring to, and he said indeed it was the one. Then at line 10, we then asked Sergeant Mukhola more or less what time it was, and she replied around 7. And at line 12, and my lord, as Umkhulu was going back into the house with the other members immediately, when Muzi confirmed, I jumped out of the vehicle, and we then asked him to clarify who's Muzi. And Sergeant Mukhola at line 17 said it's accused 1. I then ran after them, my lord, and called out to Umkhulu. Line 20, Sergeant Mukhola, and my lord, I introduced myself to Umkhulu as a police officer and told Umkhulu, my lord, that I will now place him under detention for the purpose of questioning him about his knowledge in the matter of Senzo Robert Meyiwa.
Saka 20 ke ku November kunyaka ka 2023 lapho ke kwakhulwa khona umbuzo uyena uConstable Mukhula uthi ke yebo Nkosi enkantolo ke amanye amalunga wethu noma ke ozakwethu abanye bangena ngaphakathi kwaleyo fortuna nami ngangena uthi yebo my lord bengangihleli duzane naye ke uMuzi okuyena ke accused number 1 uthi ke befika then mase bangena mase babuya ke naye umuntu okuthiwa ke Umkhulu uthi ke umshushisi umnumzane balo wambuza ukuthi ke mawuthi bona usho ubani wathi ngikhuluma ngoSergeant Mokhane noButhelezi noSadiki then uyachaza futhi ukuthi Nkosi enkantolo uthi ke Umkhulu uthi ngangena nami emotweni lapho khona uSergeant Mabena nami noMuzi uthi ke mabephuma lapho ke uthi baphuma ke nomlisa ke umuntu bisa kabonakala ngathi umuntu okhulile beza ke bazomisa ke ewindini lemoto la besigibele khona lapho uMuzi wayehlelele ngakhona uthi ke ngambuza mina uMuzi lapho umangalelo oqala wayehlelele khona ekwazi ukuthi ambone Umkhulu uthi ke ngambuza uMuzi ukuthi uyena Mkhulu lo okhuluma ngaye wathi yebo ke uyena ushushu wabuza ke ukuthi kwakuyinkathini mangabe kwenzeka konke lokuthi ke Nkosi enkantolo kwakuyisikhathi sabo 7 ke yachaza ukuthi kanti futhi ke Umkhulu waphinda ke wabuyela khona ngaphakathi endlini nabanye amanye amalunga wesiphoyisa kodwa ke ngokusheshsha ke ngase ngiyabalandela mina emveni kokuthi ke uMuzi eqinisekisile ke ukuthi ke uyena Umkhulu lo ngase ngiyehla ke mina ke emotweni ngabalandela uma ngifika lapho kuye Umkhulu ngase ngiyazazisa ukuthi uMkhulu ngiyiphoyisa mina kanti ke futhi ngingamtshela ukuthi ke Senzombeka ke ngaphansi kovaleleko lapho ngizomhloma khona ke ngembuzo mayelana nokuthi wazini ke ngokubulawa kwaSenzo Meyiwa. Senzo Robert Meyiwa.
Namanje ngisasho lento ekhulunywa ngumhula le ayikhuluma la ingamanga kaze mina ngize kube isikhathi sokuthi ngibone lo muntu abathi ngumkhulu asike isikhathi sokuthi ngize ngibe la okuhlala khona yena lo muntu okuthiwa ngumkhulu.
I still insist and maintain that what Mukhula has written here, it's all lies. I have never been to this Mkhulu's person's house. I don't know this Mkhulu person.
Njengoba sengichazile kwenzakalani kwenzakala indlela le ngichazile.
And I have already explained as to how everything occurred, and it happened in the way that I've explained.
Now, 2 days ago, when your counsel objected regarding the evidence of Mr. Zwani, we gave the background and we put the evidence on record. We'll revisit that at a later stage. But we wish to refer to page 26 of the proceedings of 4 September 2023 is the evidence of Mr. Lionel Robert Zwani. We read from line 1. The eventuality was that there was a stage where they now came back again, now in the company of the police, and at line 16, Mr. Zwani, no, actually it is the police that came and they impersonated themselves as patients or people that needed some consultation or some spiritual examining. So they came as patients to me and I told them that I'm not examining now, I'm closed. Now the police, and there were 2 police officers.
I don't know where does this exercise take us to. If it is the state's argument that Mr. Sibiya on that day saw Mr. Lionel Zwani, let them put it to Mr. Sibiya. And if it is their argument that Mr. Zwani, when he testified in the box there, that Mr. Zwani actually pointed out that Mr. Sibiya, let them put that to Mr. Sibiya rather than repeating the whole record as is, man. All this information is on record. Otherwise, we'll be here until Jesus comes back.
We're not going to take shortcuts. Mr. Sibiya denies that they were at the house of Mkhulu. It's important to put the details of what the witnesses are saying as to what happened at the house of Mr. Zwani.
I can tell the state how to proceed.
As the court pleases.
Unfortunately.
And we also want to show the similarities between the evidence of Sergeant Mukhola and Mr. Zwani. Now, Mr. Sibiya, we're on page 26. We've just read line 20 to you, where Mr. Zwani said, I'm closed. Now the police, and there were 2 police officers, they came, and after they had left, not even 5 minutes had passed, then there was an entourage of vehicles that came there in the same, or rather there at my place. A lot of police, I mean a lot of vehicles. Now there was this female police officer that shouted to me, we're proceeding to page 27, still on the 4th of September 2023. Now there was this female police officer that shouted to me or called out loud to me, and she was saying, Mkhulu, Mkhulu, meaning grandpa, grandpa, and they were busy hitting the gate there. And that police officer, I saw her, she's here. I saw her, she's here. I stood up and I walked to the to the outside. When I got to the gate, the vehicles were packed in a series form like that. Line 8, I got there and I opened the gate and they got inside. Then we walked into my house together with the police officers. When we got inside, that is when I heard that there is some matter that I need to respond to. There are young people that had been arrested or apprehended, and they made mention of my name. Now, from there, we walk to the outside now. We walk up to the street. Now, when I got to the outside, the police were outside. They were crowded in that area, and they were standing just as these people are seated here, and there were many of them. And proceed to page 28, still on the 4th of September 2023. Line 19, Mr. Zwani. She only screamed at the gate there saying, "Mkhulu, Mkhulu." That's when I walked out. I went to them right there at the gate. Then I asked them, "What is it? What happened in the night?" Yes, and there was something that was said to the effect that Mkhulu opened the gate, or Grandpa opened the gate. Where police officers want to get inside. We've just put that portion on record. Page 29, from line 7. And they said that there are boys that are arrested, and they said these boys that were arrested, they indicated that you gave them something to go and do whatever they had gone to do. I'm just a person that has to help. I'm a helper of people. Where I was standing, they took a picture or a photograph of me from where I was standing. They handcuffed me then. They took a picture of me and they showed it somebody, and that particular person would then say, "This is." They handcuffed me after that particular person said, let me explain that. When I walked out of the house, I was not handcuffed. Now, they took pictures of me right there at the street, and then I was handcuffed at the street. And he then said, I eventually got to the police station while handcuffs. While still at the police station, maybe if it can just be interpreted.
Manje ke la ubufakazi obathulwa uMnumzane Zwani khona la enkantolo ngomhla ka-4 September wonyaka ke ka-2023 lapho ke ethi khona ke abazange baseza uthi cha ekugcineni ke bafika bezile kodwa ke kweza amaphoyisa azenza ngathi abantu ke noma ke kuyigulana abantu abafuna ke usizo abantu abafuna ukuhlolwa ngabatshela ke ukuthi ke angisahloli ke ngaleso sikhathi sengivalile bese maqeda lapho ke kwaba namaphoyisa amabili ke eza emva kwaloko sebehambile emveni kokuthi kwaloko ngabona ke sekugcwele ke imoto eziningi zamaphoyisa lapho ngihlala khona zilandelene uthi ke futhi kulawo maphoyisa ke kokukhona iphoyisa lomuntu wesifazane owaye wangibiza ke wathi mkhulu engibiza ke eshaya ke igate washo ke uthi ke ngambona ke ukuthi uyiphoyisa uthi ke ngathi ke sesilana ngasukuma ke kulapho ngayoya khona ngaphandle ngafuna ukwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani mangifika lapha ngaphandle kwegate ngabona ke kunemoto eziningi kakhulu zigcwele zilandelene noma zenze ke umjeje ngavula ke igate and then bese bangena ngaphakathi bahamba nami ngaphakathi endlini basho ukuthi ke bona bangamaphoyisa uthi sangena sonke ke endlini uthi ke wezwa ukuthi ke kukhona ke icala lapho kubandakanyeka khona ke abantu abasebasha lapho baboshiwe khona abaveze igama lami ukuthiwa ke ukuthi manje kumele ukuthi ke ngichaze kulokho sisaphumela ke ngaphandle saphumela saze safikela ke emgwaqweni ukuthi lapho mase sifika lapha emgwaqweni ngabona ukuthi kwakukhona izimoto ke ezigcwele impela noma ke eziningi kakhulu and then mangiceda lapho ke ngabona ke ukuthi futhi kukhona abanye abantu abahleli ke lapho mina ngangikho abantu abaningi futhi ke khona uyachaza ke ukuthi la kule page elilandelayo uthi ke mangifika ngaphandle khona lapha emgwaqweni ngabona ke ukuthi imoto sezikhona mangifika lapho kwaba naye le unkosazana lo wangibiza lapho maqeda lapho wangitshela ke ukuthi ba amaphoyisa nabantu bonke abantu abalapho bangamaphoyisa ukuthi ke then kwaba namaphoyisa amabili ke ezayo uthi now kumele ukuthi ukhumbule ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi leso amaphoyisa kunabantu nalamaphoyisa lawa afikile ekuqala azenza kwaba ngathi abantu abafuna ke ukuhlola noma ke abantu ke abafuna ke ukusizwa uthi ke labo bantu baye bahamba nje kwadlula ke imizuzu nje emihlanu kuphela bese ke kwafika ke lezo imoto lezo eziningi lezo uyasho ke ukuthi kwakhona lenkosazana le noma ke umuntu wesifazane uwabiza ke igama lami wangibiza wathi mkhulu washo ke ememeza elapho ke egate uthi ke saphumela ngaphandle ngaphuma nabo lapho egate uthi ke ngabuza ke ukuthi kwenzakalani ngalobu busuku lobo uthi ke wathi kukhona ke okuhambayo la ukuthintana nawe ke mkhulu vula ke igate uthi ke ngavula ke igate uthi bathi vula ke igate singamaphoyisa uthi ke ngayivula ke igate angakwazi kwafikela lapho ke sifika khona endlini safika lapha endlini uma sifika lapha endlini bangitshela ke ukuthi kukhona ke abalisa ke ababoshiwe mayelana ke necala lapho kuthinteka khona ke igama lami uthi ke labo bafana ke ababoshiwe basho bachazile ke emaphoyiseni ukuthi bona bafika la kimi ukuthi ngizobasiza ngibanikeze ke umuthi ukuthi bayokwenza lo msebenzi abayowenza ngendlela ke ebabechaze ngayo uthi ke lo muntu loyo mina wathi ngachaza mina ngomkhulu ukuthi ngumuntu wabantu mina ngisiza umsebenzi wami ukusiza ke abantu ukuthi mangisukumisa ke lapho bangithatha ke noma bangithwebula ke isithombe lapho ngangime khona base bangifakoza nkosi bathatha isithombe futhi ke khona umuntu abambonisa sona lesi sithombe ke bese lo muntu le washo ukuthi yebo uyena and then base bangifaka ozankosi maqeda lapho bathi ke ngizokuchaza wathi ke saphuma ke sahamba endlini kodwa ke masiphuma sesihamba endlini ngangasafakwanga ke ozankosi masifika lapho ke ngathwebulwa ke ithombe khona lapha emgwaqweni masifika ke emgwaqweni base ke bengifaka futhi ozankosi ngathi ke kumele ngichaze ekugcineni ke safika sesigcinile sesifikile estation samapholisa ngiloko ngifakwe ozankosi
hayi mina ngazi lutho ngayo yonke le nkulumo lekhulunywa la mina ngoba ngisho ukuthi mina into eyenzakala ngalelanga ilokho engishoyo lokho angikwazi kungamanga lento le
I do not know anything that is written here. These are all lies, and I have explained what happened on the day in question.
and mina lo zona lokhuluma la angimazi naye akangazi ngiqale nje ukumbona mayefika la eboxini.
And this is one person that is speaking here in this document, or his evidence appears on this document. I don't know him. He also doesn't know me, and I first saw him when he was here in court.
So are you denying that what Sergeant Mokhola is explaining as what happened, that she came to sit next to you, that Mr. Lionel Zwani came and you then confirmed that there is a person that you consulted? You're saying that evidence of Sergeant Mokhola is false.
Uthi kwamanga lobufakazi bakaSergeant Mokhola lo abulethile lapha mkwenkundla ukuthi wezana yike umkhulu wena wavuma ukuthi yebo uyena lo muntu lo omkhulu.
Ingamanga.
That's a lie.
Now, continuing on page 40 of the proceedings of 20 November 2023, at line 9, Sergeant Mokhola testified as follows. I informed him, that is now Mr. Zwani, I informed him that we will now take him to Johannesburg at our offices.
Uthi ke ubeqhubeka ukufakazi lapho uthi ke uSergeant Mokhola wamtshela ke ukuthi sesizohamba nawe ke emahhovisini wethu eGoli.
And we've referred you to the evidence of Mr. Zwani, on 4th of September 2023, page 29, line 24, where he says, I eventually got to the police station while handcuffed.
Lokho kushiwo ke uMukhula uhambisana naloku ke okushiwa ke uyena uZwani lona ebufakazini bakhe bange-4 zakaSeptember kunyaka ka-2023 lapho athi khona ekugcineni ngagcina ngifikile ke station samaphoyisa lapho ke ngangifakwe khona uZankosi.
Mina ngikhuluma mina into eyenzeka kimi ukuthi sasuka endaweni eso saya endaweni eso sasuka lapho saya endaweni eso.
What I'm telling you here is that I'm explaining what happened. I'm explaining to you that we left from such a place to such and such a place.
Right. We wish to refer you to the AVL of this vehicle, the Toyota Fortuner, exhibit MM3A. We've already referred to the time of 18:07:33 on the 31st of May 2020, which indicates that the ignition was switched off near Eritrea Street, Palm Ridge, Katlehong. Now, the AVL indicates that at 20:05, the vehicle started driving on the same day, which basically means that the vehicle was there for a period of 2 hours, from 18:07 until 20:05 and 8 seconds.
Osikelo ke sikubonisa khona ukuthi ke i-AVL yale moto leya ke ye-Fortuna ebekukhulunywa ngayo iyaveza ukuthi ngalolo suku lelo imoto ke mayifika lapho ePalm Ridge yacishwa ngesikhathi saka 20:05 fikela ke iqale ifike lapho ngo-18:07 8 seconds ke yahamba ngaye ke u-20:05 lokho kubonisa lokho ukuthi ke ibe lapho isikhathi esingaba amahora amabili. I'm listening.
Yes. Do you have any comment that the police were there with you for a period of about 2 hours at the house of Mr. Lionel Zwani, the traditional healer?
Uyavumelana nami yini mangithi ke amaphoyisa ahlala nawe ke isikhathi singaba amahora amabili khona lapho endlini kaLionel Zwani?
Cha ngivumelana ngingahambi ngefortune.
No, I disagree with you because I've indicated that I was not being driven in a Fortuner.
Right, Sergeant Mukhola testified further as follows on page 40, proceedings of 20 November 2023, line 12. We have just quoted the passage wherein she testified that I informed him that we'll now take him to Johannesburg at our offices. And she says, testified as follows at line 12. In Provincial Head Office, my Lord, Detective Service in Ireton. And my Lord, he said he understood and asked that he wanted to lock the house. The other members helped him back into the house to lock the house. Then I went into the vehicle. I telephonically contacted Brigadier Gininda. Line 20, and said to him that I have found Umkhulu and we are on our way to the office, and he said we should meet him there in the office. And indeed we arrived at our office. I went with Umkhulu and Sergeant Mokhani, and continues on page 41, whereby we met Brigadier inside the office. I gave him a seat. I introduced Umkhulu to Brigadier Gininda. And line 10, as the brigadier was giving Umkhulu his constitutional rights, Buthelezi came with accused 1. And at line 16, Ms. Mukhola, yes, my lord, Umkhulu made certain remarks which reveal that they know each other, but the brigadier commanded the members to take Muzi back into the car so that he cannot be in the same office with him, as he wanted to question Umkhulu.
Uthi-ke wamazisa ukuthi-ke sesizohamba manje sihambe nawe eJohannesburg okuyilapho-ke amahhovisi wethu akhona. Uthi khona lapho e-provincial head office kulapho-ke e-detective service e-Erathini-ke. Uthi-ke wacela ukuthi-ke ucela ukuthi akhiye-ke indlu ngoba namanye-ke amalunga wesiphoyisa bamncedisa-ke ukuthi-ke akhiye indlu. Ngaphindela mina emotweni ngafonela-ke uBrigadier Gininda kuyilapho khona ngimtshela khona ukuthi sengimtholile-ke umkhulu sizohlangana-ke e-office. Wathi-ke sizohlangana-ke e-office. Sithe masifika lapho e-office umkhulu wahamba-ke naye uSergeant Mokhane, and then lapho sahlangana khona noBrigadier Gininda ngaphakathi e-officeini. Uthi yebo-ke ngase ngingazisa umkhulu kuye-ke uBrigadier Gininda. Uthi njengoba-ke uBrigadier Gininda wayesenikezela-ke ngamalungelo kuyena-ke uyena amalungelo wakhe anikezela kumkhulu amalungelo wakhe, bese uButhelezi wase uyafika-ke nomsola noma-ke ummangalelwa wokucala. Mabengena-ke umkhulu kukhona inkulumo ayikhuluma ebonisayo ukuthi-ke yena nommangalelwa wokucala-ke bayazana. Baba isicelo Brigadier Gininda ukuthi-ke amanye amalunga wesiphoyisa bathathe-ke umuzi bambuyisele-ke emotweni ukuze yena nomkhulu bangabi segumbini elilodwa.
Ngiyaphinda futhi enkulumo le akazi ngize ngibonane noZwani ngimbona la ecourt.
I repeat my statement that I have never seen Zwani. I only met him here in court.
Lenkulumo le ingamanga mayifaka igama lami ngazange ngize nangelilodwa ilanga ngize ngimbone lo yamuntu.
No, all this that is being said here, which includes my name, it's a lie. I have never seen Mkhulu.
And the AVL, Exhibit MM3A, indicate that this vehicle stopped near Guy Gibson Avenue, Ireton, Johannesburg South. The ignition was switched off at 20:05:08 on the 31st of May 2020.
Kanti-ke ne-AVL yabonisa-ke ukuthi-ke le moto yaqishwa lapha-ke duzane nase-Guy Gibson endaweni yase-Erathini eGoli noma-ke eJohannesburg. Uthi-ke injini yaqishwa ngo-20:05:08 ngawomhla ka-31 May 2020.
So in short, Mr. Sibiya, it confirms that from Palm Ridge, the vehicle then proceeded to Ireton, as Sergeant Mukhola has just indicated, and Mr. To some extent, Mr. Zwani.
Ngokufishane-ke lokho kusho ukuthi-ke imoto mayisuka lapha ePalm Ridge yaya-ke endaweni yase-Erathini njengoba-ke umkhulu sekashilo naye uZwani sekaqinisekisile kulokho.
Ngishilo ngathi akaze ngize ngihambe ngeFortuna ngalelo langa.
I did indicate that I was never driven in a Fortuna on the day in question.
And at page 29, 4 September 2023, line 24, Mr. Zwani testified as follows. I eventually got to the police station while handcuffed, and whilst at the police station, there I said the Sibiya young man who was coming from, the proximity could be from here, perhaps to the door, there, and I was asked, he was handcuffed and feet as well. I asked him, young man, what happened? That you know, inquiring from the Sibiya young man.
Uyachaza ke kusukela ku page 29 uthi-ke gcineni ngafike-ke sengifikile lapho estation samaphoyisa ngangifaka-ke ozankosi kwathiwa-ke uyena-ke Kwathi ke umuntu uSibiya lo le ndoda lekuthiwa uSibiya iyayivela ke mhlambe ngapha ngebanga elingaba mhlambe kusuka lapho bekachaza ukuthi la yena bekakhona njengoba fakazi ukufika lapha eminyango wayeke efakoza unkosi einyaweni nasezandleni ngambuza ukuthi indodana kwenze njani ngibuza ke yena lo Sibiya lo.
Were you handcuffed on the day as well and had leg irons as well?
Beba fasilo zankosi ezandleni neinsimbi zasenyaweni ngalelo langa.
ngoba ngiyayiphinda futhi enkulumo akazange kuze kube nesikhathi engifasa ukuthi izandla neenyawo.
I'm repeating this statement again that there was never a point in when I was handcuffed and also had leg irons.
Angimazi ukuthi ukhuluma ngoSibiya wakuphi ngoSibiya bebangaka nje la emhlabeni.
I do not know as to which Sibiya is he referring to because we have a lot of Sibiyas in this world.
Now, line 9, Mr. Zwani says, this is the very person that I had a very close interaction with, that we were facing each other at a very closer proximity and the others were just adjacent to where he was, just like these ones that are seated behind me here. But one is a very person that we had a face-to-face interaction with him. I could then tell that this is the Sibiya young man.
Uthi ke yena ke ku page number 9 uthi ke uyena ke lo Sibiya mina ngikhuluma ngaye ngoba ke ngaba nengxoxo naye ke sasisondelene kakhulu futhi ke sasibhekelene ke mina naye uSibiya lo ngikhuluma ngaye sasisondelene kakhulu laba abanye babe semva kwami njengalaba echaza ibonisa ke njengalaba bebasemva kwakhe la enkantolo uthi ke uyena umuntu ke akhuluma naye aba nengxoxo naye ebhekene naye uyena lo uSibiya engikhuluma ngaye.
Now,
njengoba ngisho ukuthi uzwana mina lo wayilakusini angimazi nakangazi.
I did say this that there's one that was in this box does not know me. I also don't know him.
Ngoba kuba wayengazi kwakuzoba lula ukuthi angibone la ukuthi nangu lo Sibiya lo engimshoyo.
Because if,
wayekhuluma ngoSibiya nje ngingamazi ukuthi uSibiya muphi wakuphi.
because if he knew me, it was not going to be difficult for him to point me out as I was seated there. Maybe he was referring to another Sibiya that I do not know of.
now, line 17. Now, I do not recall which police officer I spoke to, and right there at the police station, there were many police officers, and he said to me, "Do you know this person? Do you recognize this person?" I then replied, I say, "Yes, I know this person. He is the same person that came to me. This is Sibiya."
Aqhubeka ke kule number 17 ukuthi ke akasakhumbula ukuthi yiliphi iphoyisa ke akhuluma nalo kodwa ke angakusho ukuthi amaphoyisa wayegcwele khona lapho e-station kodwa ke lambuza lelo pholisa ukuthi uyamazi yini lo muntu uyamkhumbula wasephendule yena ukuthi ngiyamazi lo muntu yena lo muntu lo oweza kimi uyena lo uSibiya.
Namanje ngiyasho ngithi mina angimazi lo umuntu uyanaka ngazi ukuthi uSibiya ayikhuluma naye nalelo phoyisa lelo ukuthi imuphi angazi ngoba wayengakhulumi nami futhi.
I still maintain that I do not know that person. I did not speak to I do not know that person and I do not know which Sibiya is he talking about because I did not speak to anyone.
Akaze ngiboshwe izandla neenyawo.
And I was never cuffed my hands and I was never in leg irons.
And Sergeant Mukhola testified as follows in the proceedings of 21 November 2023, page 56. Line 14. Perhaps line 18, she testified as follows, and also he is the one, my lord, to confirm, after I asked him if this is the Umkhulu that he was referring to, and he did confirm, my lord.
Uthi ke mhla ka 21 ku November ke unyaka ka 2023 waqinisekisa ke uSergeant Mukhola noma ke ukhuluma lokho okushiwo uye ke umkhulu ukuthi ngaye ngambuza mina ukuthi uyena umkhulu lo okhuluma ngaye na wase uthi yena yebo.
In such a way, my lord, that when we got to Eraton Umkhulu was able to identify him as he walked into the office.
Uthi-ke ngendlela yokuthi-ke uthe masifika ke endaweni yase-Eratin umkhulu wakwazi ukuthi-ke emkhombe uma sikulelo office lelo.
Ngiyasho namanje ukuthi mina lo muntu lo wayefika la ebhokisini angimazi akazange ngambona ngaphambilini ngangiqala ukumbona mayefika la ebhokisini.
I still insist and maintain that the person who came to the witness box or witness stand, I don't know him. I was seeing him for the first time here in court,
And i-Eratin angiyazi.
and I do not know Eratin.
During cross-examination by Dr. Sibanda in the trial within a trial on the 6th of February 2024, page 43, line 10, he put the following question to you, Dr. Sibanda. And he also testified before this court that the vehicle that you got into is a Toyota Fortuner. He's referring to the evidence of Sergeant Mukhani. And your response, yes, I did say that. Then at line 20, Dr. Sibanda, were you inside this particular vehicle all the time? Then accused one, if I was taken or I will be taken at the police station, I will then be inside that particular vehicle that I'll be traveling in.
Uthi-ke uDokotela Sibanda wayekubuza-ke imibuzo ngalenkathi trial within a trial lapho yekubuza-ke khona-ke ukuthi wawungaphakathi yini kwaleyo moto ekukhulunywa ngayo. Uthi-ke wena mmangalelwa wokuqala impendulo yakho kwaba ukuthi-ke ngathathwa-ke amaphoyisa-ke estation then ngafakwa kuyo yona leyo moto leyo.
Ngoba sengichazile ngale ndaba yeFortuna nale moto leqashqayo ukuthi mina ngangihamba ngeqashqayo imoto engihamba ngayo hayi Fortuna.
I have explained, clarified that I was not in a Fortuna, I was in a Qashqai.
And we briefly wish to refer to the evidence of Brigadier Gininda on this point during the proceedings of 28 November 2023, page 20. Line 9, we put the following question to him. Yes, Brigadier, you can continue. You mentioned that it was, as you put it, abundantly clear that accused one and Mr. Zwani knew each other. Brigadier Gininda, absolutely, my lord. It was based on the utterances that occurred between the two of them. Furthermore, my lord, it also became clear that accused one was making further confession to Mr. Zwani when they were just talking as to what was wrong, why he was in that position.
Uthi-ke mekubuzwa-ke uBrigadier Gininda-ke ebuzwa umshushisi-ke imibuzo uthi-ke kwakusobala yini ukuthi-ke laba ababili bayazana. Impendulo yakaBrigadier Gininda ukuthi kwakusobala Nkosi enkantolo ukuthi laba abanye bayazana ngaphakathi ngikusho lokho ngenkulumo yabakhona phakathi kwakhe-ke ummangalelo wokuqala naye-ke umnumzane Zwani. Futhi kwabonakala ngathi kukhona udaba-ke ummangalelo wokuqala ebese lixoxa naye-ke umnumzane Zwani njengoba-ke ukuthi kwenzakalani ukuthi why ezithole ekuleso simo leso.
Namanje ngiyasho ukuthi le nkulumo lekhu yoGininda ayilona iqiniso. Mina lo muntu loyana angimazi naye akangazi. And ubufakazi bukhona la enkantolo kwathiwa makuthiwa akakhomba uSibiya amaziyo lapha akazi ezembona uSibiya amaziyo.
I still maintain that I do not know the statements made by Gininda, and he was also asked, I'm referring to the witness, he was also asked to point at this Sibiya. He could not point me out while I was seated there.
Then, on 28 November 2023, page 22, line 5, Brigadier Gininda says, my lord, thereafter I asked the said members to remove accused one so that I can carry on with further interviews with the traditional healer, Mr. Zwani.
Uthi ke uBrigadier Gininda ngafaka ke isicelo sokuthi ke makathathu ke umangalo lokuqala abuyisela phindiselo ke emotweni ngizokwazi ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngihlome ke uZwane ngemibuzo.
Oba ngisho namanje ukhuluma into engekho uGininda mina namanje ngiyasho lo muntu lo ngiqala ukumbona mayefika la eboxini angazange ngaze kwaba khona isikhathi ekwenza usokolete show uGininda.
There's no such a thing that Gininda is saying here because I'm still maintaining that I do not know this person.
After our discussion, my lord, it became clear that one can utilize him by obtaining a statement. I therefore requested my colleague, that is the head of the anti-corruption unit in Germiston, Colonel Mohlami, to assist me in taking the statement from Mr. Zwani. My lord, he agreed. I then requested the members to take Mr. Zwani to the colonel in Germiston, DPCI, and thereafter take him home after such statement has been taken.
Ngabona ke ukuthi emveni kokuthi ke sengibuse ngimbuze leyo mbuzo ke uZwane ngabona ukuthi sekuyisikhathi esifanele ke manje ukuthi ngakwazi ukuthi ngithathe ke statement sakhe ngase ngenza ke isicelo kuye ukuthi makahanjiswe eGermiston lapho ku anti corruption unit yethu ikhona yena ke constable Mohlame ukuthi ake athathe uZwane amuse ku DPCI ukuthi ke ayihlonywe ngembuzo noma ke ayibhalisa ke statement sakhe maqeda ke ayiswe ekhaya.
Lalela.
I'm listening.
And Brigadier Gininda, indeed, my lord, such a statement was taken, and I know because then it was brought to my attention. That is, Colonel Mohlami first informed me that he's done, and the statement was brought to me. And insofar as accused one is concerned, I do know that he was eventually detained back at Valeria SAPS after the taking of the statement.
Uthi ke ngawathathwa ke yena umnumzana Zwani wayesokhona lapho ke endaweni yaseGermiston ayobhalisa ke statement kuye ke uConstable Mohlame wangazisa ke ukuthi sekasithathile leso statement kanti ke futhi sagcinislethiwe kumina leso statement umangalelo wokuqala yena ke egcineni wagcina ethathiwe esiphoyiseni noma ke station samaphoyisa endaweni yaseVilleria.
Lalela.
I'm listening.
Then the evidence of Sergeant Mohola on 20 November 2023, page 42, line 9, is to the following effect.
Oh,
Miss-
bengithi usaqhubeka indaba kaGininda safunda wona. Angazi lutho ngayokolete show uGininda mina.
I thought that we were going ahead reading Gininda's testimony, but I do not know anything of what Gininda is saying.
Then Ms. Mohola, thereafter, my lord, after the brigadier indicated he has arranged a statement to be taken from Umkhulu, we had to take Umkhulu to PCI offices in Germiston.
Uthi emveni kokuthi ke sazise ke uBrigadier Gininda sazise ke ukuthi uhleliwe ke ukuthi makuthathwe uMzwane athathwe ayiswe ke DPCI endaweni yaseGermiston uthi ke baye bamthatha
And said that I should hand over Umkhulu to Colonel Mohlami, and indeed, my lord, I left with the members to Germiston DPCI offices.
uthi ke nganikezwe ke umyalelo uye ke uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi ke uConstable Mohlame ngimnikezele ke kuye ke umkhulu sase siyahamba ke nozakwethu silibangise eGermiston.
And my lord, when I got there, I handed over Mr. Lionel Robert Zwani to Colonel Mohlami, and I went out and waited in the vehicle with other members. And after the statement was taken, Umkhulu was taken back to his place of residence, and we proceeded to Tembisa South Police Station.
Emveni kwalokho ke inkosi enkantolo samthatha ke yena uLionel Robert Zwani samnikezela ke kuye ke uConstable Mohlame okuyena ke wathatha ke statement sakhe salinda ke emotweni nozakwethu uma ke sebeqedile ke ukuthatha ke istatement sase samthatha ke mkhulu simbuyisela lapho ehlala khona thina saqhuba ke saya ke eThembisa.
Namanje ngisasho angazi ukuthi amaphoyisa eGermiston ayiyokwenzani lapha afika amakhona. Yiwo awazi ukuthi ayiyokwenzani.
Like I said, that I do not know what the police officers went to go do at Germiston, so they would know why they went there.
And once again, we wish to refer you to the AVL which indicate that on the 31st of May 2020, at 22:31:21, the vehicle is started up.
Kuyavela ke ebufakazini obuletho ubuvezwa yi-AVL ukuthi mhla ka-31 kuMeyi kunyaka 2020 ngesikhathi saka 22:31:21 imoto yaseke iyastatiwa.
We've indicated to you that the engine was switched off near Guy Gibson Avenue, Araton, Johannesburg South at 20:05:08.
Njengoba ke besichazile ekuqaleni ukuthi imoto yaqishwa ke endaweni eduzane nasendaweni yase-Guy Gibson ngesikhathi saka 20:05:08.
So it was at Araton from 20:05:08 until 22:031:21.
Lokho kusho ukuthi ke imoto lena yayise endaweni yase-Araton ngaso isikhathi saka 20:05:08 ukufikela ke isikhathi saka 22:31:21.
So in other words, the vehicle was at Araton for about 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Shuku lokho kusho ukuthi ke imoto lena yayimile lapha endaweni yase-Araton amahora amabili nemzuzu ke ngamashumi amathathu.
Ngilalele ngishilo ngathi ngangekho kuyifortune.
I'm listening and I did say that I was not in the Fortuna.
And on the same day, 31 May 2020, at 22:35:55, it shows that the vehicle is driving.
Iyabonisa futhi ke imoto ukuthi yastatiwe ngesikhathi saka 22:55:05 khona ngalelo langa 31:05 zaka May unyaka ka 2020.
And at 22:48:15, it's near Long Street, Germiston.
Siyabonisa ke ukuthi ngesikhathi saka 22:48:15 isendaweni yaseGermiston estrade kuthiwa i-Long Street.
At 22:49:20, it's near Mayor Street, Germiston.
Uthi ke ngo 22:49 iseduzane ikhona lapha eGermiston eMayor Street.
Ngilalele.
I'm listening.
Then at 22:51:40, the engine is switched off and the vehicle is near Victoria Street, Germiston.
Uthi ke ngesikhathi saka 22:51:40 iyaqishwa ke imoto ilapha ke ku-Victoria Street khona lapha eGermiston.
Ngilalele.
I'm listening.
So once again, the AVL records confirm that the vehicle, as Sergeant Mohola and Brigadier Gininda testified, that it went to DPCI offices for Colonel Mhlami to take down the statement of Mr. Lionel Robert Zwani.
I-AVL lena iqinisekisa ke lokho kushiwo ke uyena uMogola ukuthi ke uBrigadier Gininda wabacela ukuthi bathathe ke uZwani bamthathe bamuse lapha ke eDPCI.
Ngilalele.
I'm listening.
Do you have any comment?
Ukhona ukuphawula ungathanda ukukwenza?
Akukho engakuphawula ngokuhamba kwefortuna. Ngishilo naseqaleni ukuthi ifortuna ngikhuluma ngokuhamba kwayo ngangekho kuyifortuna.
I do not have any comment with regards to the said Fortuna. I did say that I was not in the Fortuna.
And the AVL records indicate that at 23:47:45, the vehicle started driving.
Uthi saka 23:47:45 yastartwa ke imoto.
Ngilalele.
I'm listening.
So it was there at Germiston from 22:51:40 until 23:47.
Imoto lekusho ukuthi yayilapha ke endaweni yaseGermiston kusukela ngesikhathi saka 22:51:40 kufikela ke ngesikhathi saka 23:47:45.
Approximately an hour.
Lungaba yihora mhlawumbe phansi noma ngaphezulu kwehora.
Ngilalele ngishilo ngathi ngangekho kuyifortuna.
I'm listening, however, I did say that I was not inside the Fortuna.
And as indicated, this was during the time when the statement of Mr. Lionel Robert Zwani was taken down by Colonel Mutlami of Germiston DPCI.
Leso sikhathi ke le moto yayimile lapho ke ingaleso sikhathi kuthathwa ke statement sakazwani lapha ke eDPCI no sithathwa ke uyena Constable Mhlanga.
Nale
I'm listening.
Do you have any comment?
Khona ungathanda ukuphawula.
angazi lutho nguthatha statement angazi lutho ukuthi wakwenziwa lapha eGiniston.
I know nothing about a statement being taken, and I know nothing about what was happening in Germiston.
Thank you. As indicated to you, we've already put the background to the evidence of Mr. Zwani when your counsel made an objection. And we referred to the evidence of Mr. Zwani on the 4th of September 2023, page 22. And we're not going to quote extensively as we've already done, but just suffice to mention that on the 22nd of page 22, proceedings of 4 September 2023, line 7, Mr. Zwani says, now when I first met with Sibiya, they came to me in the company of 3, and the person that I interacted with was Sibiya, and there were people who were looking for work. And page 23, he says he's charged for consultation.
This witness has been confronted with that evidence, or with those suppositions. He has already alluded to them.
Yes.
This is just a repetition of what has been posed to him earlier on. Must he then repeat the same thing that he said earlier on? It's just repetition.
My Lord, we not refer in detail. We're just referring to the pages that we quoted. On page 23, he's referring to the consultation that he charged. And page 24, says you're looking for some work. Then on page 24, he says after 2 to 3 days, he came back, and that he mentioned on that occasion when he came back, he said that they had gone to search for work, and there's someone that had sustained some injury there. And on page 25, he said, testify that he gave some, or he conducted ritual cleansing.
Angeke sibuyele kakhulu kule ndaba ngoba sisibesa ikhuluma noma lo daba lokuthi ke uzwane ubufakazi bakhe kwaba ukuthini ke kwaba ukuthi ke yebo ke usibiyamekeza kimi okokuqala bafika bebethathu ke babathathu kwaba udaba lokuthi ke bangabantu ke abafuna ke umsebenzi kanti ke futhi ke emveni kwama-insuku ezimbili noma ke ey'ntathu waphinde wabuya ke wazosho ukuthi ke umsebenzi wona utholakele wenziwe kodwana ke kube nesho lokuthi ke kube khona umuntu olimalayo kwase kuyileso sikhathi ke noma ileso sigaba leso kwakufanele ukuthi ke abageze.
Ngiyaphinda futhi angazi lutho ngozwana uzwana ngaqala ukumbona mayefika la eboxini akangazi akumazi.
I'm repeating again saying that I do not know this Zwani person. He doesn't know me. I started knowing him here in court.
Usibiya la khuluma ngayo ukuthi imupho usibiya bebangaka la emhlabeni angazi.
I do not know as to which Sibiya is referring to, as there are so many Sibiyas in this world.
Kodwa akakhulumi ngami ngoba mina angimazi nakangazi.
But he's not referring to me because we don't know each other.
Is it correct that you then proceeded to Tembisa South police station?
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi naqhubekela ke nahamba naye police station yaseThembisa South.
Bangithatha bangise eThembisa police station, eThembisa South police station.
Yes, they took me to Tembisa South police station.
And is it correct that you were then charged for possession of ammunition, magazine, and cleaning rod?
Kuyiqiniso ke futhi ke bakuthesa noma ke bachazela ke ukuthi amaqala obanjelo wona ke amaqala ukuthi kutholakala ke uneyinhlamvu nale insimbi le ke na yokuklina ke isibhamu kanti ke nemagazine.
bangitshela ukuthi bangithathele inhlamvu.
I was only informed that I'm being charged with being in possession of ammunition.
Akaze beyibale yonke lento ebalwa umshushisi nazi inhlamvu mase ifunakala ecourt akaze beze beyilethe.
There's nothing of what the prosecutor has read that they told me about. Even the ammunition, when we go to court, they were unable to bring the said ammunition.
Were you given an explanation of your rights?
Bachazela yini noma ke wayithola incazelo mayelana ke namalungelo wakho?
Cha.
No.
There's an exhibit that has been handed up in this court, exhibit TT in brackets 2. Will this perhaps, my lord, be the appropriate time to take the long adjournment?
What's the time now?
It's 9 minutes to 1, my lord.
Okay, fine. Adjourn until 2.